The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the September 3rd, the wonderful Wednesday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. Let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. Now, the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I are going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I do want you to know that I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But even more important than that, that's this. During this next 53 minutes, I'm here to serve you. So feel free to send me an email, send it off early, send it to Steve at TFNN.com. Inside the subject heading, please put radio show question. Of course, if you're inside our Tigers den, well, then any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on wonderful Wednesday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Well, we begin our day with a mixed bag out there. The mix goes like this. Dow's trading down about 55 points right now, with the S&P up 36, NASDAQ 100 up 230, Russell's up 4, transport's down 31, semis are basically flat, New York Stock Exchange it's up $45, and NASDAQ Composite up $253. You've got gold up $31, silver's up 21 cents, light sweet crude back $1.61. And what we've got up on our charts right now is the energy sector, the XLE. If we take a look at our column here, DTD9, column number 3 from the very right-hand side, you'll see a star and a number 9 next to the energy sector. That tells us that we got a TD9 count top that's confirmed. That pattern is completing today. Now, as we take a look at this, we're going to look at a number of different TD9 counts because of the patterns that are present, especially in the gold sector, mining sector, that is. So we're going to take a look at those. So I'll assist you with that. And but odds favor this one when David White was alive and he was helping me to reprogram all this. We were creating a version of an AI version of this. But one of the tests that we ran in the TD9 counts was the percentage of times. The percentage of times. That's not really the right way to say it, but it was about 90% when we got TD9 count patterns. Didn't matter for what time frame, price would make its way to that oscillator and change line. Now, that oscillator and change line is green. That could be a level of support. We're trading with inside a brand new profile that formed today. You've got resistance at 90.68, support at 86.95. If price were to close below the green oscillator and change line, that's at about 88.56. There's another level of support at 88.19, and if that gave way, we'd be looking to move to 86.95. And if that gives way, we'd be looking at that breakout level. And that breakout level is courtesy of that TD9 count, and that's at the 85.14 area. Now, the interesting thing about the energy sector, the XLE, is that on a weekly basis, price was trading below on the bottom of its bullish structured weekly profile for well more than 2 weeks out there. And when that happens, that's a cool thing about the profiles. They provide us with a number of different tools out there. In this case here, price ran into the level where a counter trend move would come to an end. That's at 90.64. So that's going to be a key level. Any of those of you that are trading the energy sector, if you get above that and you close above that on a weekly basis, at least as long as that profile is in place out there, that would tell you it's more than a counter trend move. So far, the daily TD9 count is pulling back and testing support. That's that oscillator and change line. You've got a couple other values as well. On an intraday basis, like a 30-minute time frame chart, we do not have any kind of a bottom signal out there. If we take a look at the XA XAU, again, just disregard the profile levels that show up here. That's going to complete a TD9 count topping pattern today. What should unfold, just like we took a look at with the XLE, is price should pull back to its oscillator and change line. For the XAU, that's at 248.35. Now, the weekly chart looks very good. The monthly chart looks very good. Heck, even the 30-minute time frame chart looks well also. But we're going to, now, not all TD9 counts work. Not all patterns work at highs or lows. The cool thing about this is whatever today's high is for the XAU, if we close above that tomorrow, tells you about a strong upward momentum move, which is in essence is what we're seeing on the weekly and monthly, because they don't have any kind of a topping pattern out there. But it's a daily that's in control of things as we speak right now. If we take a look at silver, you'll see a number 8 that tells us that we're going to go ahead and form bar number 9 today. So that will confirm its topping pattern. That will complete tomorrow. As we know, the high can come on the bar following bar number 9. Now, much like the XAU, the weekly time frame chart looks very good. The monthly time frame chart looks very good. So we're just expecting and anticipating that silver will pull back to test its oscillator and change line, and that's at the 40.25 level. If we continue to look up and down for the TD9 counts, boy, once we get to this little mining sector out here, let's go ahead and put the GDX. The GDX confirmed bar number 9 yesterday. It's completing that pattern today. Again, the same rules, the same playbook here. If price closes above today's high, whatever that might be, tells you about a strong upward momentum move. Short of that, what price should do is pull back to test 62.75. That is its oscillator and change line. If, in fact, price were to pull back and close below that oscillator and change line, then I'd be looking at where are we at on the weekly, which right now is at 59.69, and where are we at with regard to the top of its profile. That's assuming no new profile forms. The top of that profile is 58.81, but the first target to the downside for the GDX ought to be about 62.76. Newmont Mining, the number 1, waiting inside of the GDX. No surprise here that it confirmed a TD9 count top yesterday, completing that pattern today. Its price target's going to become 74.44. That's the initial price target. Again, if price closes above today's high or yesterday's high at this stage here, we haven't taken that out. Whichever high is in place for this pattern tells you about a strong upward momentum move. Again, complemented by what the weekly and the monthly time frame charts are telling us. So this could be nothing more than just simply a 2-day, 2-bar retracement out there. But if price did close below 74.44, we'd be looking at about the 69.44 level for Newmont Mining. How about Agnico Eagle, AEM, also completing a TD9 count topping pattern today. Again, same rule book here. Now, its price target to the downside, or first target to the downside, will be 143.25. Below that, we'd be looking at about 138 and change, or 136.30 out there. That's for Agnico Eagle. If we take Wheaton Precious Metals out there, Wheaton Precious Metals is going to confirm a TD9 count top today. It'll complete that pattern tomorrow. Its price target, first price target, will be the top of its profile, 99.96. You can see the daily oscillator and change line is at 99.09. That becomes the range for the price target out there. Now, on a monthly basis, a little bit more of a problematic for Wheaton Precious Metals. It's going to go ahead at the end of the month, unless it's got a major pullback, it's going to go ahead and confirm a monthly TD9 count topping pattern out there. We got a few seconds. Let's take one more. Let's take Kinross Gold. Kinross Gold will complete its TD9 count top today. We're just trying to identify where's that oscillator and change line. That's the first level of support, and that's at 20.93. Below that, we'd be looking at a move to the 19.25 level out there. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We come back from this break. Let's take a look at what's going on with regard to the equity future contracts. Let's take a look at the daily time frame, a couple of the intraday charts out there as well, and then let's get to our request. LAWR, NVIDIA, ABGO, RGTI, and CDXS. Of course, I'd love to hear from you as well. Steve at TFNN.com.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched The Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. So we're taking a look at the gold sector out there, and one of the questions that came in was, what's the longer-term view for the GDX, for the mining sector out there? So what I've got up on our screen here is the monthly time frame, and so let's take a look at a couple different things. First of all, there's an A to B equals CD pattern. We've exceeded the 1-to-1 level out there. The A point for the GDX starts all the way back in January of 2016. Then the B point is August of 2020. The C point is going to be the low in September of 2022. So we've achieved the 1-to-1 level out there. We did get a bearish reversal candle. That obviously was negated last month out there. So what you'd be watching for out here, Dennis, and everybody else, would be a bearish reversal candle. If you got one of those, you would have a sell the D point top. Short of that, we're only in bar number 7 from a monthly basis. We know that the top can form on a TD9 count of bars 8, 9 to the bar following bar number 9. So that says October, November, December, you could get a TD9 count pattern. Now, at this moment in time, we don't know where the month is going to end. It's only September 3rd. But as of September 3rd, prices trade above 64.62. 64.62 is the TD9 count top for the GDX that formed on a monthly basis back in December of 2010 out there. Now, that had swing point volume of 170 million shares. Last month, we traded up with 351 million shares. There's also another swing point. The all-time high is where price is likely gunning for, Dennis, and that's going to be the high from September of 2011, and that number is 66.98. You'd love to see price close above 66.98 because then you kind of have free sailing to the upside. So longer term, those are the patterns that are in play. Does, in fact, at the end of the month of September, does the GDX close above 64.62? If it doesn't, that could spell some problems. And then the second is, are we trading at a new all-time high? So those are the things I'd be looking for on the monthly time frame chart. Right now, it's the daily, though, that's going to trigger things or could trigger things to the downside. So that's one to be watching and watching those support levels. And again, for the GDX, it's going to be that oscillator and change line, currently printed at 62.77. But as price moves up and down, so too does that line out there. All right, so we got that out of the way. Hope that helps everybody out. Let's take a look at the daily equity future contracts, see what we know here. So yesterday was a gigantic test of support, profile support, that is. We start on the right-hand side to take a look at the Russell 2000. You can see it formed a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top 2 trading sessions ago. And what price did yesterday, pulled back, tested, and rejected the bottom of that profile, 23.4230. You and I know that is a key level of support. If we close below that, certainly for 2 consecutive sessions, we should continue to move lower. We also know that yesterday was day number 2 to the downside. This is going to be day number 3. I don't know. Price needs to close above that oscillator and change line for the most part, which is acting as resistance. That's at 23.62. Dow equity future contract right now testing profile support. It's at 42.524. I think it is. 45.242. 45.242. We're trading at 45.246 right now. So that level has been tested and rejected. Watch that. If we close below that for 2 consecutive sessions, we likely head lower. The NQ has and is trading below the bottom of its profile. It may be targeting its breakout level at 22.803, and the ES Mini is back inside its profile area. Its next level of resistance will be 64.74. All right, that's fine with regard to the daily time frame, but what are the intraday charts communicating to you and I? Great question. Let's go find out. We'll get those charts on our screen here momentarily, and I believe we're going to start with the NQ. Nope, we're going to start with the ES Mini. So the ES Mini, and I wrote this in last evening's newsletter update, so that from overnight action, subscribers would understand where price was likely targeting. And that was because of, for example, the TD9 count bottom. You and I discussed that yesterday. In fact, we discussed at about the as we were coming into the close, that support levels were being tested, that there were bottom signals that were forming out there, and surely enough, by 12:30, that bottom pattern was in. What didn't take place yesterday until last evening, not until about actually it was 9 o'clock this morning, as the price finally got up to the 5-hour oscillator and change line. Now, that is currently printing. Now, this bar that we're looking at right now does not close till 2 p.m. The question is at 2 p.m., are we trading above 64.50? 64.51, something like that. If we are, that's going to increase the odds of a further rally. Now, that is subject to what do I see on the other intraday charts out here. So the 30-minute time frame chart is in the process of trying to attempt a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top. It had a TD9 count top, but that was negated as we came on the air at 11 o'clock. Now, in the last 23 minutes, we've seen price pull back, trying to form a bearish reversal candle, but price is testing that green oscillator and change line, and also the center of its profile. So I don't know if it's going to be able to break through that level being 64.52. But if we did get a bearish reversal candle to confirm a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top out there, price would likely pull back to the 64.44 level. If that area failed, 64.26. That's the only topping signal that I see of significance out here. So just watch that pullback, especially with the 5-hour chart now trading above that red oscillator and change line. Let's go see what the NQ's intraday charts are signaling to you and I. Different patterns that formed on the NQ, then the ES Mini from an intraday standpoint. So let's see what we've got. Here we can see the 5-hour is trading above its oscillator and change line. And a close above that level is going to increase the odds of a further rally. Now, this bar here does not complete until 2 p.m., but 23,375 is the number that you would be watching or thereabouts. It is the 30-minute time frame chart for the NQ that also has that topping signal. So too the 15-minute chart. Both, now in the case of the NQ, price has not even gotten back to the top of its profile and its oscillator and change line, which is at 23,447. On a 15-minute time frame chart, you've got a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top price testing that oscillator and change line. And price is trading above its profile out there. So its signal on a 15-minute basis is neutral at worst case as we speak right now. So that's what's going on intraday. Also, the 2-hour time frame chart, price did make its way up to its TD9 count breakdown level. That's at 23,509.50. That area is worth noting and watching. If price closes above that, that increase the odds of a further move higher. So that's what's going on with regard to the intraday charts for the ES Mini and the NQ. Well, we probably ought to put Goldilocks up here, right? So let's put up the December contract for gold, see what kind of signals we have here, if any, since we had had spent so much time, or I spent so much time, take a look at the TD9 count signals plethora inside of the GDX. You can see, you've got that wave number 7 count on the daily gold contract and bar number 8 today. 5-hour time frame chart, no topping signal, just bar number 7. Bar number 240-minute time frame chart, you're going to likely get a TD9 count confirming. Now, you likely get a TD9 count top that forms between 2 and 8 o'clock this evening. So you'd want to be watching for that. No topping pattern on the 2-hour time frame chart. TD9 count that's going to complete on the 60-minute time frame chart. That's going to complete at 12 noon. So watch the high. At the moment, the high on the pattern was the last hourly bar, 36.31. So if price were to close above that, that's assuming in the next 34 minutes that we don't get above this area, 36.31. If we did, let's assume that that's the case, then if we started trading above that and we close above that, strong upward momentum move. Now, this 30-minute time frame chart also has a TD9 count top. That's completing right now. That'll complete another 3.5 minutes out there. So you'll be watching that high, same high, 36.31 out there. Interesting. See how price is holding that green oscillator and change on? Even with that top, it is still a neutral signal out here. So gold, I don't think gold is saying that the TD9 count top is going to complete on bar number 8 today, at least not at this moment in time. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Trader's Edge is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. Just to kind of finish off the equity complex, so to speak, we take a look at the spot fix index, which yesterday did close above its 50-day exponential moving average. That's the gold line. That's 1658. And today so far, prices pulled back and tested and rejected that. Now, when prices above the 50-day exponential moving average, sellers are the ones that have an edge out there. The New York Stock Exchange, its advanced decline oscillator, measurement between the 39 and 19 period exponential moving average of the advanced decline line, is below its zero threshold level. We closed below it yesterday. We closed below it today. That provides sellers with an edge. So at this moment in time, sellers have an edge for those two tools that we use out there. Something to most certainly keep in mind. Watch that 1659 level out there. All right, let's move on to our first request that came in. This actually came in yesterday towards the end of the show. Wasn't able to get to it. It was for Jambalaya, who wants to take a look at ticker symbol LAWR. Let's get that up on our screen out here. LAWR is trading out right now, $2.34. So what we have out here is yesterday's beautiful rally, and it was a beautiful rally, ran into resistance at that TD9 count breakdown resistance level. That's at $2 or $3.39. So the theory is if you can't bust on the upside, this is what Thomas taught us, price will try to bust in the downside. Well, to the downside, then you're looking at support. And support would be anywhere between $1.89 to $2.03. Now, that's assuming that price stays above $2.03 today. We would then have two consecutive readings above the top of its profile. And then that tells us that if it's only a counter trend move to the downside, price would find support between $1.89 and $2.03. This instrument hasn't traded enough, only for 3 months or less than 3 months. So it's only the daily time frame, which, by the way, from an IPO standpoint, when it did bottom, it was a TD9 count pattern out there. Folks, you should learn this pattern. It is a simple pattern to learn. It gives you so much data. Easy for you to just simply put on your daily charts or your weekly charts and understand where you're at. And if you don't know the system, just subscribe to Mastering Probability. Do it for 5 days. You can do it for 30 days, 29 days. Doesn't cost you a penny out there. And you're going to learn. You're going to learn a ton. Anyways, good tool. So Jambalaya, that's what I see with regard to LAWR. Nothing really for me to take a look at on the monthly time frame or the weekly time frame. So thanks for waiting an extra day for that. Tom G writes in this morning and is interested in really a couple of different symbols out here. NVIDIA, of course. Of course, many of us are interested in NVIDIA. What is it doing? And Tom would like to take a long position. Now, I got to say caution to that. And the caution is because we've got a daily Rhodes momentum indicator top with price trading below the bottom of its daily profile. If we close today below 173.07, we will have a daily profile change in trend. What that signals, Tom, is that maybe what you should be looking is to the short side. The price target to the short side on a daily chart, we got to look at the weekly and the monthly, but on the daily time frame chart, the short side price target would be 152.97. Now, we have traded lower for 4 consecutive sessions out there. That says that NVIDIA is due for at least a rally, at least a 2-day rally. But will price be able to get above the bottom of its daily profile, 173.07? I don't know the answer to that question. On a weekly basis, joining into the daily Rhodes momentum indicator top, we completed a TD9 count top last week. We are trading below its green oscillator and change line. NVIDIA, for that time frame, has lost its momentum. Its downside price target would be 158.09. So we got 152.97 and 158.09. You're not hearing me say bottom with regard to NVIDIA. With regard to the weekly, a monthly time frame chart, no topping pattern there. If we did get a bearish reversal candle, I would confirm a Rhodes momentum indicator top. Its level of support is down at 158.78 out there. So, everything's kind of coming together in that 158-ish type range or 152 level out there. So you're looking to go long. I'm not seeing that as we speak. That doesn't mean I'm right. It's saying I'm not seeing that with regard to NVIDIA. Let's go take a look at Broadcom, AVGO, see what kind of signals this is generating for us. We take a look at Broadcom. It is trading with inside its daily profile. It's a bullish-structured profile. Yesterday's move found support in that buy zone between 285 and 292. What price should do here, Tom, is rally up towards its oscillator and change line, 305.98. No idea if it will clear that. It has a Rhodes momentum indicator top. Volume yesterday, as it was pushing into a swing point, it was a swing point from back on August 20th. Volume there, 23 million shares. We pushed into it yesterday with 19 million shares, so lighter volume. Be careful, because if we do close below 281.87, I don't know whether we will or we won't, but there's a possibility that we set up the C point of an A to B equals CD pattern to the downside. If we look at the weekly time frame chart, much like NVIDIA, it completed a TD9 count topping pattern last week. In its instance, though, it is stronger. Broadcom is stronger than NVIDIA right now, at least for its weekly time frame. NVIDIA is trading below its green oscillator and change line. AVGO is not. That says that its signal for the weekly time frame is neutral. So if it can get above 305.97, it probably wants to make its way up to the 311.88 area. That's the top of the weekly profile. Monthly chart looks very good. It's really up to the daily and the weekly to finish their task. Is it possible that the daily has found support for its TD9 count pattern? And it is possible, as long as price remains above that green oscillator and change line at 298.08. So of the two to trade to the long side, I would say AVGO would be the better of those two, but I question whether or not. Now, you know what I didn't do, what I should show you, what I will show you, let me pull this over here, is NVIDIA. We've got 26 years worth of data. Let's put in where we're at right now today. So we can see here with regard to NVIDIA, typically tops around August the 27th. I'm not sure when that daily, I don't recall off the top of my head when that came in. So it's following along with regard to that. We've got that weekly TD9 count top. And this suggests that price, typically September's a poor operating month for NVIDIA as well. And this suggests that this would bottom around October 2nd or maybe October the 10th out there. Can I find AVGO out here? Let's go see what this is doing. So if we look for Broadcom, we're going to take a look at a seasonal time frame chart. We have 16 years worth of data. Again, that red vertical line is where we're at. It's September. It's not great, but it's not horrible. It doesn't. It's actually more of a positive. So when we took a look at the charts, I didn't even realize this. It's seasonal pattern. Again, this is supplementing what we took a look at just by looking at the chart patterns and what it was doing out there. You also want to take a look at RGTI. Let's see how much data we've got for that, or even if we have data for that. Let's get that up on our screen, or try to. No, we don't have RGTI, so I can't do that. But that is a request that you also asked for. So let's pull those charts up here. I believe we've got some folks inside the Tiger's Den that trade this. So let's get the charts here for RGTI, which is trading out right now at 1560. So daily time frame, a Rhodes momentum indicator top. Price right now is trading above the top of its profile. You want to continue to see price trade above that level at 1553, but you really want to see price get above its resistance level. And right now, that's going to be its oscillator and change line. So it's trading in a very narrow range between the top of that profile and 1608. So that doesn't really set up a trade to the upside, and I would say I don't see the trade to the downside just yet. Yesterday tested, and basically yesterday was a test of a level where a counter trend, where a counter trend moves to the downside would come to an end. That was at $15.10. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. The weekly chart not giving us a ton of information, just sideways movement out there. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstad's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstad releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direction. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direction.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direction.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. We're going to take a look at ticker symbol CDXS. This is for Nitram inside the Tiger's Den. Nitram, I did do a quick search here, and we do have seasonal data for this instrument. So let's take a look at it. Here's the 15 years worth of data. September is a negative performing month. If anything, it just simply kind of shows more of a sideways consolidation. Bottoms typically form around August 22nd, around September 26th out there, October 24th, and then again November the 18th out here. So there's a seasonal pattern for this instrument. Codexis is its name. Now, September is not necessarily the most favorable month. This has just triggered an A to B equals CD to the downside. That was confirmed yesterday with volume as the B point was taken out, and that suggests a run for about the buck 93-ish range out there. If we look at the weekly time frame chart, price is trading with inside its profile. It's below its red oscillator and change line. That's currently printed at 257. It does have a weekly buy zone. So before price can make its way to that buck 93 price target, price has got to get through the buy zone. The buy zone is between 229 and 241. No idea whether that will hold and contain price. There's a swing point back here that price is also gunning for. That's a swing point from April 11th. Volume there, 5.4 million shares. Last week we moved lower with 6.7 million shares. So far, just 2 days of trading, a couple million shares out there. But the monthly chart is trading below profile support. That suggests a move to the downside out there. So everything here for CDXS is suggesting it moves to the downside. Don't know whether we'll go ahead and complete that daily A to B equals CD because of that buy zone on that weekly time frame. That price needs to get through out there. I can see I've got a couple of different things I need to do to my charts here. Let's go to our next request out here. Coming in from Rahul wants to take a look at Salesforce. CRM is the ticker symbol out here. So let's get that up on our screen out here. We've got Salesforce right now trading inside a new daily profile. This daily profile formed yesterday. It's slightly bullish in structure, meaning that you've got a buy zone. More sellers exist between 243 at 54 and 248.83. Then above that level, you've got resistance at 255.88. That was tested and rejected earlier this morning out there. So just a consolidation with inside that daily profile. I don't see a topping pattern. If anything, let's see if there was a confirmed A to B equals CD pattern on the upside. The B point would be the trading day of August 22nd. Volume, 6.6 million shares, passed with 8.4 million shares. So on a daily time frame, Salesforce Innovations, which formed a nice TD9 count bottom, has now gone on to go ahead and form an A to B equals CD pattern. I'm just simply going to move that A to B line up to the C point out there, and it gives us a 1-to-1 price projection of 260, 287. Now, you can't get there until price takes out the top of that daily profile. And the top of that daily profile is 255.88 out there. On a weekly time frame, price is trading with inside its bullish structured profile. Because we are above the center, which is 241.58, that suggests a run for 271. So we got an A to B equals CD gets us to 263. We've got a profile resistance on the weekly at 271. And the monthly time frame chart have a nice hammer candle last month, so that's strong. Price traded with inside its bullish structured profile. That suggests if you couldn't bust in the downside, which it did not, price will try to make a run for the 273 level. So once CRM can deal with its profile levels on the daily time frame, and that means a close above 255.88, it will resume its move higher out there. That is all of the requests that I've got. It's 11:46. I say we head out to the golf course early. What do you think? Especially today. I think we're expecting rain kind of earlier in the day. Now, we're not going to do that. We're going to spend the rest of our time with you. But if you do have a request and you're inside the Tiger's Den, you can try by email, steve@tfnn.com. You just got to send it off early so that I can get to it. But let's go take a look at, and I was looking at this point, this chart up on my screen, the semiconductor index. What are the semis communicating to you and I? Well, the daily time frame has a Rhodes momentum indicator top. The first time it confirmed that pattern recently was August 15th. We had another confirmation a couple days ago on the 29th of August out there. What we're watching for here, the key level of support for the semis, the SOX index itself, is the bullish hammer candle from August 20th. 54.8005. If we close below that, we're headed lower. We're likely headed for that swing point. The weekly time frame chart has a sell the D point top. That sell the D point top formed on July 25th with that bearish engulfing candle. That bearish engulfing candle has been tested several times and is held. Now we have price in the semiconductor index trading below its green oscillator and change line. Tells us it's lost momentum. Where is price headed to? Very simple. It's headed towards that monthly oscillator and change line, 54.70 and change out there. If that level fails, then we're going to be heading lower out there. On a monthly basis, we have rallied for 4 consecutive months. Typically after 4 consecutive months, for example, actually, we had a 5-month rally back here in March of 2024 out there, and then we saw just simply a 1-month move to the downside. So watch on the semis. The key level is going to be that hammer candle, and that's from the trading day of August 20th. We close below that, we are headed lower out there. Let's take a look at the Dow. So let's go see what the Dow Jones Industrial Average, that should pull up these charts here. So we're going to take a look at daily, weekly, and monthly time frame. Now, the daily has a wave number 7 top. The daily also has a Rhodes momentum indicator top because of the gap to the downside yesterday. The weekly time frame chart could form a sell the D point top this week. At the present time, it's a 3 river evening star. I don't know where we finish. If we finish inside below halfway into the trading week of August 22nd, which we're trading below that right now, that would create that 3 river evening star candle formation, and that would say that price should then pull back towards 44,743. But we got a daily top, we got a weekly top, we do not have a monthly top out there, and that's what kind of suggests to me that maybe what we're in store for here is a 2 to 3 month pullback. I'd say more likely a 2-month pullback as we pull back into the lows into October. That would most certainly be the normal pattern out there. I do see a couple of requests that have come in, so let's go to take a look at those here. Let me get to the first screen for that. That's going to be this from Jambalaya. FETH is the ticker symbol, so let's pull that up. FETH. See what we have out here for this instrument. I'm going to check while it's pulling up the chart, see if there's anything in the seasonal data And as a matter of fact, there is Fidelity Advantage ETF for Ethereum, I believe is what this is. So we've got a consolidation with inside its daily profile out here. And that's between the range of 41.52 to 47.53. The weekly, on the other hand, has a TD9 count top. It's going to complete that pattern this week. That pattern is in. Price ought to pull back to its oscillator and change line, 37.88-ish. The monthly time frame chart, not enough data to really help us out there. So the weekly is suggesting a retracement. You've got support. The next support level on the downside, 41.53 on the weekly, 41.52 on the daily. So that becomes a key number for you to be watching. Jam, because if we get below that, that's what's going to take us to at least that 37.88 area. You want to take a look at TEM is a ticker symbol. So let's get that up on our screen. I'll have those charts set up when we come back from this break. Pete G wants to know, should he buy FCG? And Ron wants to take a look at Goro, G-O-R-O. So I'll have those charts set up for us, and I'll somehow squeeze that in to that 2-minute time frame. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We will be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back, folks. We're taking a look at ticker symbol TEM, which has a daily Rhodes momentum indicator top that went ahead and formed on August 25th. But we can also see that price is trading above the top of its profile. 7707 is that number, and its green oscillator and change line at about 7662. Therefore, its daily time frame is neutralized. If price gets back below profile, and certainly below its oscillator and change line, that would be a different message. Now, volume yesterday, as an example, volume to the upside was 9.4 million shares. It was going into 18 million shares. So you're pushing into that swing point with light volume. Nonetheless, that is a neutral signal. The weekly time frame is nothing more than a consolidation with inside its profile. It does have support at that oscillator and change line at 70.86, resistance 79.43, a buy zone between 43.38 and 55.40. That's what I see with regard to ticker symbol TEM. Let's go take a look at FCG. The question is this a buy? We take a look at the daily time frame. The daily time frame says what? I don't have a topping pattern out here. Price is pulling back, maybe pulling back to test the oscillator and change line at 23.62. Why did price stop where it did yesterday? Well, that's pretty easy to answer. It's the bottom of that weekly profile, 24.14. That has been tested several times. That has been tested 4 times since the week of July the 11th out there. That is your strong resistance level. FCG on a monthly basis resists at 24.61. Is it a buy? No, I don't think so. Not that you are probably looking for a peak out there. So that's what I see when we take a look at FCG. Lastly, let's go take a look at ticker symbol GORO. This is for Ron inside the Tiger's Den. Ron, you've got what looks like is setting up a profile change in trend for its daily time frame. A close about 56 cents accomplishes that task. That suggests a run for 75 cents. The weekly chart, prices trade above its green oscillator and change line at 57 cents. As long as that condition remains, price should then go target 68 cents out there. That is the top of its profile. And finally, on the monthly time frame, it's a bullish structured profile. It wants to go tag that 69 cents once again. Folks, stay tuned for all the great programming. Thanks for joining me on Wonderful Wednesday. That's what I want you to have. But please join me again tomorrow on Terrific Thursday. Take care and be safe out there.